continue informing you. And a wave of backlash has erupted online after President William Ruto used the now viral phrase, Tuko Kadi, a slogan popular among Gen Zs encouraging voter registration ahead of the 2027 elections. The phrase, widely seen as a symbol of youth political awakening, has recently also been associated with growing calls for accountability and change in leadership. But the president's adoption of the term has sparked debate, with many young Kenyans accusing him of attempting to hijack a movement they say reflects their dissatisfaction with his administration. NTV's Susan Wawero now looks at the online reaction and what it could signal politically.
The slogan Tuko Kadi now a rallying call among young Kenyans to register as voters took a new turn on Saturday when President William Ruto echoed it during a public address.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie tuko tayari na tuko kadi. Kama mnataka hiyo, tuko kadi tayari. We are ready for you.
Tulisema kama una kura wewe ni adui wa maendeleo.
But within hours, social media platforms were flooded with reactions, many of them critical of the head of state. Gen Z users on X and TikTok expressing frustration, accusing the president of attempting to insert himself into a movement they say is rooted in holding his administration accountable.
I think this guy has mastered the art of manipulation. Ama reverse psychology.
Muko kadi mkiwa na nani? 2027 president hawezi kuwa Rikijina, hawezi kuwa Ruto. Tunataka president mdogo, Gen Z.
Alan Ademba, who started the slogan on his X platform, says, Tuko Kadi to get you out of office, while others dismissing the remarks as tone deaf and out of touch. What began as a simple phrase encouraging voter registration has quickly evolved into a symbol of youth political consciousness, with many now using it to express frustration over unemployment, the cost of living and governance. Some young people have also been sharing videos from past protests where fatalities were reported, framing voter registration as a pathway to push for change through the ballot. As the conversation grows, political analysts are now weighing in on what this could mean for the country's political landscape.
President Ruto is a worried man, but he must be worried, and he is worried because of the Gen Zs. The young people have shown that they do not agree with him. They do not subscribe to his ideology. In fact, they are questioning what we adults are about and what we, even as religious people, are about. So there is a big issue that the young people are questioning. So they may not just be having an issue with President Ruto, but they're generally having issues with the leadership generally in this country.
His remarks come in at a time when many young Kenyans are increasingly expressing mistrust towards the political establishment.
I think what the president should learn is that he cannot use the same script all the time. He's been at it before. He thinks by jumping onto this bandwagon of Tuko Kadi, he makes sense to Gen Zs. Certainly the chasm, the gap between him and Gen Zs is so wide that if he tried to go towards them, he might fall in that gap.
And with much of this mobilization happening online, attention is now shifting to the role of digital platforms in shaping political discourse and participation.
The digital space is going to be a defining moment for mobilization, for voting, and for monitoring the vote, and for ensuring that each vote counts. So that is going to be the next battle. So they will not only mobilize for people to register, they will also mobilize for people to come out and vote, and they will also mobilize for people to monitor, and they will also mobilize for people to protect the vote. So if anybody is planning to use technology to steal, I am sure that the young people could be better at using that technology to block.
Plans for youth-led mobilization activities are already emerging, with influencers and young leaders expected to play a role in encouraging voter listing in the coming days.
Young people are saying Tuko Kadi, and you are not a young person, you're saying also, what? How are you looking? I think you should leave the young people alone. Let him find another slogan for himself. Young people.
While Gen Zs have not openly declared who they will support in the next election, their message is becoming increasingly clear. They are organizing, mobilizing and preparing to influence the outcome. What started as a slogan could now be shaping into a decisive political force. Susan Oweru, NTV.